So this is the official one, man. This is the official one. I'm ready to do it. I'm ready to get into it. Listen, man. I will say this. It's kind of funny, man, how sports works. How this becomes one of the highlights of my life, right? As a sports fan, I'm a big time sports fan. And most of us Knicks fans, like that's the thing about us, is that we live, eat, sleep, and breathe the New York Knicks. No matter what is going on, I mean, like I said, this is already a great situation, and this is something that the average fan, who is such critics or call us delusional and every other stupid trope that they throw at us, like the idiots like Draymond Green, this is what they do. Now, as an independent sports content creator, I'm not a Knicks content creator. I do have a Knicks segment, but I'm calling myself I'm going to give the San Antonio Spurs a lot of credit and a lot of props for their season. I mean, you talk about a team that was non-playoff last year. They shut Wemby down because of the blood clots it was determined he had at the All-Star break. And it cost him pretty much MVP votes. It cost him a Defensive Player of the Year. He was almost certainly going to win last year. It cost him a lot, and the Spurs didn't make the playoffs. This year, they not only won 60 games, but they got to the NBA Conference Finals, and they're favorite, as they deserve to be, in the NBA Conference Finals. Okay, so a lot has been accomplished by your San Antonio Spurs this year. And far be it to say that they've already accomplished their goal, right? And maybe it's the case. And I think this will play into my prediction. They're young. They have a bright future ahead of them. This is going to be a hell of a series. I'm gonna tell you this. You can listen to all of the glazing. You can listen to all the prognosticators, the doubters. You can listen to a lot of things right now, right? I challenge people to kind of look at basketball and look at sports from a way it has always been looked, instead of this modern gotcha now, make this prediction, overreacting, like the sports has become such a form of entertainment that we believe in swerves and basically predictable outcomes, right? And so, I'm gonna get into the preview in a minute, but and that's why I just want people to understand, okay? Sports has become so that everybody has to make a prediction and act like that's expected. And you go out and you watch it and you understand. Sports is a story where the game itself is told and it's played out based on how it's performed and how it's played. Okay? I'll say that. Basketball is a game of matchups. It's not a game of best superstar on the court must win. No, basketball is a team sport. It might be the ultimate team sport. You know why it might be the ultimate team sport? Because it's played simultaneously, offense and defense, by 5 players. Think about it. Football, the offense comes out. The defense has to post them. Baseball, you got the batters, 9 players on the field. You're not doing both simultaneously. Like even basketball, it's possession by possession, but that's the thing, it's 5 players. No, you can't sub guys out. And even hockey, which is played similarly, you can sub guys out in the middle of the play, right? You gotta get 5 guys on, 5 guys gotta come off. Okay? 5 guys gotta come on, 5 guys gotta come off. So that's the difference in basketball in baseball and other sports. You get what I'm saying? So, with all that said, right, and I'm on my way to buy me a Knicks hat. I'm on my way to buy me Knicks gear right now. Okay? Basketball is that ultimate team sport. And what that means is, even if you have the best player on the court, that doesn't mean, and that helps. But the best player on the court needs to be surrounded by the right as far as chemistry wise and play wise. He needs to be surrounded by the right guys. You feel me? So, with that said, there's a lot of people that believe that Wembanyama is the best player on the planet. Which possibly he is. But I will say this. The player playing the best basketball on the planet right now is Jalen Brunson. And that's where I will start this preview. Because, yes, Wemby has had the most amazing games in the playoffs. Brunson has had the most amazing performances and the most consistent performances. And that's just a fact. It's just a fact. I could look up numbers to support what I'm saying, but I'm just going to leave it at that. All right? Wembanyama's been amazing. He's been impactful. So is Jalen Brunson. Here's the deal. It's the supporting cast, right? Because as I said, this Knicks team, and this is why I started off by saying this is one of the best times of my life, because for the first time we have a Knicks team, and we're not even favored, right? We were favored in 94. We're not even favored. We were heavy underdogs in 99. We were heavy underdogs. We're underdogs, considerable underdogs now, right? So with that going on, where are we now? What's going on now, right? The Knicks, a lot of people who are making their predictions, I've heard them left and right. I've heard them. I've heard what they said. I've heard same old Knicks, bullshit, blah, blah, blah. See, the thing is, this is not the same old Knicks. This is a Knicks team. This is a Knicks team who is deep, who has multiple guys playing some of the best basketball you've ever seen them play. Multiple guys. This Knicks team is the best starting five, in my opinion, in the playoffs, and they don't get credit for it. They get zero credit for it. And, it is what it is, right? It is what it is. We get zero credit for being the best starting five. And really, so much is said, and I hate to even have to dignify it, because that's not how playoff work. I've never seen this before, where we've looked to who the other teams beat and determined, well, that means this is how this matchup is going to work. Guys, that's not how it works. So let's start here. I think if you've seen me before, or if you've heard me talk, you likely heard me say the Knicks are going to win this series in 5 games. And people think that's very disrespectful or very dismissive of the Spurs and what they've done. I've started off by speaking on what the Spurs have done. They beat OKC. The 2 teams they beat were inferior to the Knicks. So, obviously, the Spurs are superior to the 3 teams that the Knicks have beat. But the Knicks did not just beat the 3 teams. The Knicks absolutely dismantled the 3 teams. So, even if we believe the Spurs are X amount better than the Cleveland Cavaliers, right? Even if we believe they are X amount better than the Philadelphia 76ers, what they are compared to those teams don't mean what they do on the match. And mind you, it's still, even when you look at it that way, it still doesn't mean nothing towards the matchup. It means 0 toward the actual matchup. The Knicks have the matchup advantage in multiple positions. and even the positions where you could say the Spurs have, they don't have it. Like OG Anunoby and Julian Champagnie, right? Won't guard each other. We will not waste OG Anunoby on Julian Champagnie. There's no need to waste OG Anunoby on Julian Champagnie. But that's the power forward. That's the power forward next to Wemby. That's the power forward next to Karl Anthony Towns. So, people are going to sit there and say, okay, well, Karl Anthony Towns is not as good as Wemby. Maybe not. Karl Anthony Towns has experience over Wemby. Karl Anthony Towns right now is playing just as well in the playoffs as Wemby. Yes, Wemby is getting 3 blocks every game. Wemby is impacting the paint. Karl Anthony Towns is playing great two-way basketball as well. Karl Anthony Towns is hitting his 3. Karl Anthony Towns is facilitating. So, at center, I'll give the Spurs a matchup. Power forward, the Knicks get the matchup. As I just mentioned, OG Anunoby versus Julian Champagnie. At small forward, Josh Hart wins the battle against Devin Vassell. Vassell's a pretty good player, right? Pretty good three-point shooter, corner three-point shooter. But there is no way anybody could believe he brings as much to the table all around basketball as Josh Hart. And Josh Hart, been hitting 41. That's one of the key matchups because what I'm hearing is they're probably gonna waste or try to use Josh Hart. I'm sorry, Vic Wembanyama. They're gonna use Wembanyama guarding Josh Hart. Basically saying to keep him in the paint, they'll just let Josh Hart stay open. And then dare him to make threes with Wembanyama guarding him. Dangerous game to play. Dangerous game to play just depending on the Knicks scheming. So you want Wembanyama to basically shut down any Knicks attack on the basket. That's understandable. Okay? But be careful. You're asking you're leaving a 41% shooter wide open. And at some point, Josh Hart can beat you in many different ways. Okay, so the Knicks have the advantage of small forward, especially considering our small forward is drawing your best defender. Vassell is going to draw one of many people, like either OG Anunoby or Mikal Bridges. Mikal Bridges versus Castle. Now that's an interesting one, and I'm gonna call that one an equal because number one, I gotta go by it's funny. You want to use the regular season and the accomplishments thus far. Maybe Castle and upside is a better player than Mikal Bridges. Right now in the playoffs and based on what they've already accomplished, Mikal Bridges was the second runner-up to Defensive Player of the Year. In my opinion, if he had a better reputation, should have been in more all Defensive of the Year and all the NBA defense discussions. Should have been. He's been a terrific defender. He's been a defender that you don't just go at and just beat. I've seen him lock down everybody from Maxey to Ja Morant. I've seen him lock down better players and with more talented players than Vassell. Now, it could be that he guards De'Aaron Fox. That's where the biggest matchup, and the Fox is a fine player. Fox is a guy who could make, but he is not going to do what Jalen Brunson does. He is not as close. I'll put it this way. He is not as close to Jalen Brunson. And the crazy part is, Castle or Fox could be considered their best players. I mean, that's like the second best player to Wemby. Where we know that Karl Anthony Towns is to Brunson, and then Brunson, like I said, I mean, OG Anunoby being the third best player. I think the top three players, if you look at the top three players, especially considering how they're playing in the playoffs, the Knicks have the advantage. They have the best player. I think the Knicks have the next four best players. I think OG is better than Castle. I think and Fox. And I get that Fox has been in the league a while. Again, he's only been in the playoff once. I mean, he's also banged up. Not the worst jump shooter of the six players. He's the point guard. He's the worst shooter of the six. Now look, off the bench, a lot of people think because of Keldon Johnson, the sixth man of the year, and Dylan Harper, that the Spurs have a better bench. I will say the Knicks have a better overall bench. I'm going to start right there. Yes, I know Luke Cornett comes in. See, right there, I think that's where the bench pretty much ends. That's where the rotation pretty much ends. Luke Cornett comes in for minutes for Wembanyama. And that's the other thing too. Wembanyama only plays 31 to 32 minutes a game. So the Knicks have a chance of doing a lot in the minutes that he's on. Even if Wembanyama is taking even if he's making his impact and being a positive when he's on the floor, I think the Knicks have a good chance of winning the off-court minutes based on the fact that, the Knicks will have Mitchell Robinson. They'll have a combination of, maybe they have a lot of looks that we can throw. We have a deeper rotation. So I'm going to give the bench edge to the Knicks, even though you might have the best two players off the bench on San Antonio. But that's just not how it works. The whole unit has to come in and be a positive on the floor. And I think where the Knicks can leave starters in the game, stagger guys in, again, Landry Shamet, the way he's shooting the three, then I think the Knicks have the advantage. Bench-wise, I also think the Knicks have advantage coach-wise. Shout out to Johnson. Shout out to Mitch Johnson. But Mike Brown is just a small season. Is just rolling sevens right now. He's coaching a better game here in the playoffs. There's so many things to point to Johnson being outmatched by Mike Brown. There's so many things to point there. So with the majority of the matches, and again, I got the center match, and I can say, put it this way, that's the other thing. San Antonio cannot win if he's not the most impactful player on the court. That means not only for the series, but any game, he has to be the most impactful player. And that's hard to do with a guy like Jalen Brunson. It's hard to do. Jalen Brunson can go for 40 any night. He can go for 40, and not only that, he makes you adjust more. The Knicks will not have to. The Knicks can throw so many looks at Wembanyama, which we have. I think when people throw out the regular season, it's the regular season. No, it's these two teams playing basketball against each other. It's these two teams. See, you say it's regular season games. So you throw it out because it's regular season games, yet you don't look at the matchup. This is the problem that so many NBA fans are doing. Yes, we see. There's so many things you can take from it's not the result; it's the matchups. Who's guarding who? How do they adjust? There's so many things you can take from it. But then you want to throw out that the Knicks are clearly playing better basketball in the playoffs based on matchups to other teams. When, again, San Antonio's only played one superior team, and they had a 7-game series, and they've looked bad in like every other game. Yes, they won the 7 games. Yes, they stole a game or two. And yes, it's a better team. But that does not, again, how they match up against OKC has nothing to do with how they match up against the Knicks. And if you look at their overall playoff performance, it does not speak to what they're doing against the New York, what they're going to do against the New York Knicks. The New York Knicks are playing, and again, the question is what can the Spurs do to knock the Knicks off of their game that no one else could, that the Knicks have played so far? Because I don't care how you feel. The teams the Knicks played were legitimate playoff teams. They were not 8 seeds. They were not all teams. They were not lottery bound teams. Only one team was lottery last year, and that would be Philly, right? Well, Philly and Atlanta. Atlanta was lottery because Trae Young choked in the goddamn in-season turn. Turn. They were 7 seed. They basically lost their playoff spot by sucking in the goddamn play-in tournament. Okay, because Trae Young choked and crashed out, and It's like when you two guys were here. So the Knicks played legitimate playoff teams. The Knicks played legitimate All-NBA players. It's so funny, the hypocrisy in the way people prejudge or judge series, judge matchups. Look, I know my voice is fucked up, man. I've been battling the cough and cold, and now I got laryngitis, man. I hate that. I didn't want to have to do, because tomorrow I'm going. It's funny, man. I'm going for a colonoscopy. Pray for your boy that everything is good. But it's just at that time. I'm in my 40s, so gotta get that done. So tomorrow I won't be eating. I don't know what level of strength and energy I'm gonna have. So I'm energetic. I just got the laryngitis. But here's the deal. The Knicks are going to win this in 5, and the Knicks just have a poise. First of all, I do believe they have the talent advantage. I do believe they have the performance advantage. I do believe they have the poise advantage. The one thing that the Spurs have is the best overall player, potentially upside in a series. The Knicks are not far behind with Jalen Brunson, guys. They're not. Don't listen to the fucking idiots, Draymond Green and Becky Hammonds and all the other doubters. Let's start analyzing basketball. He's going to win his matchup way more easily and way more convincingly than Wemby's going to win his matchup. Because what Wemby's playing against this is what we don't even understand. A Karl-Anthony Towns who can absolutely slice them up as well. At what point do they go back to putting Wemby on Karl-Anthony Towns? Because that's the thing, right? If Wemby's going to guard Josh Hart to keep him in the paint, so they can okay, we'll live with Josh Hart shooting threes as long as it keeps Wemby in the paint. Or what point do they put him back on Cat? And once they do, it's series over. And mind you, they put him on Cat doesn't mean he can guard Cat on the perimeter. That doesn't mean that Cat won't be able to post him up and make it a battle. Guys, Fox will not guard Brunson. It likely will be Castle. It might be a little bit of Vassell. And Fox will not guard him, and neither will he guard Fox. What the Knicks can throw at Fox and what Fox's ability is a lot better, than what they'll throw at Brunson. And they won't be able to deal with Brunson. Brunson will keep mismatches all over the place. So again, I got the Knicks at 5. I got the Knicks at 5. And it's not just, everything I've said up to this point can point to why it's going to be Knicks at 5. Poise. Taking care of the ball. Playing the pick your poison game. The Knicks will not have to over-adjust to Victor Wembanyama. They won't. If Victor Wembanyama get his 30 and 10 and 15 with 5 blocks, so be it. They might not win that game. See, but for them to win that game, he has to play that dominant. Because they don't have consistent performers around him. I don't think y'all realize that. They won because Julius Randle had a career high 36 in the one game they won this year. Julius Randle had 36 points, 10 threes.
And he hasn't gotten a job since.
Last year, I remember Malmus Kedisvili. The year before last, I mean. Well, last year. Last year. Malmus Kedisvili. They're going to need shit like that. In the NBA Finals, the Knicks are going to get big games out of OG Anunoby. The Knicks are going to get big games out of Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Deuce McBride off the bench, Landry Shamet. You laugh at these guys, but they're performing. Not only they're performing consistently. Jose Alvarado off the bench. I don't see them with point guards off the bench. Keldon Johnson is their main factor. Their main X factor. The Knicks X factor is their entire bench. Mitchell Robinson dominating on rebounds like he's done in the past. It's Knicks in 5, guys. It's Knicks in 5. I'm not at my best, so I didn't give you my best series preview. I'm going to always regret that. But I guarantee you're not going to find too many better season previews than this. Peace, guys. Knicks in 5.